is October 4th, 2025. I think I figured out why Michelle's dad was in debt to those drug dealers. During the case, they made bets. They were making bets everywhere. Mentioned them a million times. Where he even admitted, found out that's him that I seen in Walmart, December 18th, 24. Karen didn't know who Michelle was till January, February, and 19. No, I made sure of it until she announced herself. She didn't even know who she was. I still never even talked to her. I've just seen her. Never talked to him either. Okay? Makes me mad. People I've never met were hurting me. Well, he also said they told me that she had threatened her, and if they threatened her, she threatened her. I didn't care what they did to her. Okay? And she didn't know who she was. No, I made sure of it. Okay? He said, I told that drug dealer that nobody would ever want her after everything he had done to her to leave her alone. He was in it with the drug dealers making bets. One bet he could be so cruel he could push me to suicide. One bet he could make me give up everything in life and have people participate. One bet that no one else would want me. They had bets everywhere. This one guy had a really nice truck that was following me around. I didn't see him for a while. Showed up in a junky truck and was telling someone, I made a bet with them and I lost everything I had in life. They take everything when you make a bet with them. For you bet everything you have in life. You did a fool's bet, didn't you? Michelle's dad did a fool's bet, didn't you? See, you should never bet anything more than a pizza, a beer, a dinner, $20, something you wouldn't miss if you lost it. But they want you to bet everything you have in life. And if you don't repay them what you're worth, they take it. Then you pay interest. That's why you did this. You did a fool's bet with them, didn't you? Thought it was a sure thing and they sent you up. It was a fool's bet, wasn't it? It was a fool's bet. Then you gotta start thinking. When all these people came around, March of 17, we had 2017, we got a loan for a driveway. Dave kept saying he didn't have enough money for something. Okay? We had plenty of money, made $110,000. Our house payment was only $600. Our cars were $500 each. We had a lot of money. Okay? And we're renovating our home on Lenox so we can sell it to get a retirement home. He wanted to live out in the country. We didn't do it then, could never do it. Really afford to do it. So we got a $10,000 plus loan on his retirement. $5,000 disappeared. Disappeared from the safe. We put $4,500 in the back driveway, $2,000 in the upstairs bathroom. Took $500 back of supplies. You got an $1,800 bonus, and all the other money disappeared. Wouldn't give it back. And it's not like you had to steal. If you ever wanted anything, I always just try to make sure we could do it, or I'd figure out how we could do it eventually. You never had to steal. There was only us. We had all that money. We may have had grandkids and kids, but they were grown. And then the grandkids I mean, what do they want? Trinkets? We had a ton of money. Right? My car started getting scratched up a long ways. I was up scraping old wallpaper, painting, sanding, and Dave worked midnights. So I'd stay up and talk to him. Took me months and months and months to fix that place up. Okay? Well, come August, John and Melissa got, my oldest son John, and his ex-wife Melissa were still married, got in a big fight. Okay? And he called me up and they were going to break up and all this other stuff. Again, they broke up like 10, 20 times over the last 10 years. Just stay out of it. They're adults. Just don't fight in front of the kids. They don't deserve it. They're little. Okay? They went to go back to that church to fix their marriage. I told them not to. Okay? Told them not to. Did they break them up for good? Oh, they're not like that, Mom. Yes, they are. Told them not to. Wouldn't listen to me. Would not listen. All right. By October, November, Dave's leaving to work early. Try to get Dixie to follow. Thank God she did. He calls me one night. He said, Karen, I'm in trouble. I said, why are you in trouble? He said, I crashed the machine. I said, why would you be in trouble for crashing the machine after I have a drug test? Well, I didn't even swear back then. Didn't wear pants. Christian. Apostolic. The worst thing I did wrong was I trimmed my hair, which is forbidden there, and colored it so I wouldn't have grays. And I didn't think a bracelet and a necklace would put you in hell. And I made sure I didn't wear them when I went to church. But when we were out, I thought pretty little jewelry wouldn't hurt anything. And it's silly. That's it. I used to laugh until coffee and chocolate and Diet Coke became illegal. I'm good. Okay. Well, Dave got caught with pot in his system. We didn't do drugs, didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't even swear. Dave used to laugh that our house was a rated G house. We had little ones. Always over. We had a rated G house. Get the idea? Well, Dave came home one night. I had tarred around the house that day. Okay? The basement windows had plexiglass. And, the tar sealed it tight. I couldn't get the old hose off, so I popped it up with a rake where the tar wouldn't hit and wouldn't get stuck in the new tar. Okay? I work like crazy on Linux. And Dave came home. He got in bed. I set our security system because during the summer, if I could hear people outside and my car's getting scratched up, we got a security system. I'm home alone at night. Neighbors are real close. But if I'm home alone at night and I can hear voices outside, and I'm getting up and there's great big scratches on my car, long ways. He's trying to fill it in with filler and they're that close to the house. I got a security system. He got mad. I said, that security system. And a few minutes later, I hear pop, pop, bang, bang. Puppies were screaming in their kennels in the basement. I'm like, what was that? Are you going to go look? No. And I'm trying to look out the upstairs windows. I don't see anything. It's too dark. And I'm like, you're going to go check? No. I'm waiting for the security system to go off. Nothing happened. Climbed back in bed, just laid there for a while. Puppies quit barking. I finally fell asleep. Got up the next morning. The plexiglass was cracked where they tried to pull it off. And they fell over the rake and pulled the antenna down. Everything was disarrayed. Perry Police, we called them. They said it makes no sense. There is all those upstairs windows. Why would they go through the basement? They knew where the security system was. He's like, you're part of it. You're individually set up. They're beepers. And Dave keeps saying stuff that incriminates him. And I'm like, sir, would you just drive by? We weren't even fighting. Okay? He said, ma'am, I'll be driving by and put his finger in Dave's face. I'll be checking on you. Told him all. Well, Christmas, John's kids wanted brand new bikes. We had bought them on Thanksgiving of 17 and kept them at our house. And on right before Christmas Eve of 2017, we went to take them over there. And we already had them loaded up in the car, and our family was up here from Florida, so I knew they couldn't come over. Well, we get over there, they're not there. We got permission to leave them inside the house. We made great big homemade name tags for them, and we left the gift cards. Rather, permission to leave them inside. Okay. Well, Christmas Eve, we go over there. And they're having a buffet dinner. We go in and sit down. They're making fun of Dave for having pot in his system. Didn't you know what someone was doing around you? He's 60. And I asked the kids, I said, did you like your bikes? Why would we thank you? Some other lady in the church bought them for us. I said, what do you mean some other lady in the church bought them? And they're running around and being silly because they're little. And Melissa's making fun of Dave for having pot in his system. Right? By March, our house is up for sale. Bill German wasn't always in the area, and he would let me show it. And that's where Dave insisted I went Lincoln Way one day when I had like hour and a half to 2 hours before I had to show it. And I wanted to go get coffee, and I was going to go out to Belden, and kept insisting for me to go Lincoln Way, and I always go the back way. And it was a setup, and that's where I was followed him around it. And the Perry Police said they would have rolled me. It was a setup. So I insisted I went that way. Screamed at me till I did. That's where I was helping Terry clean out her apartment. And when I was loading up the boxes, I was almost kidnapped in front of her. And then when we moved out in May, I was almost carjacked and he took off. And by the grace of God, somebody else started coming towards us and put his headlights in his eyes and he took off. So, Florida showed up by March. Now, where Terry's phone call, I didn't hang up. She still don't know, I know. of where she was watching this lady's kid for $10 an hour in a tiny apartment. And I thought I was going to catch him cheating. I missed that one. Of the churches taking up 25 grand to hire men to kill me. And it was Keith Bishop, Strange, and Ron. Because Ron wants me dead because I got while the years kid died. Strangest lie. Of calling me a faker. They actually have that. That's where it is amazing because I had her on speaker. And where she said the lady was picking up her kid. And since some other lady just cost me a job impersonating me, I thought, well, maybe it's her and I'll catch Dave finally. Boy, did I miss that one. I'm literally sitting there like this and tears are running down my face. They actually have that. They also have Dave bragging that him and Jack had this plan since March because they wouldn't give up everything willingly. And him hold me down, how he hired 2 men to kill me, one to slip me in the throat, stab me in the heart. I'd bleed out, but he loved her. He loved me, but he loved her more, and I had to die for them to get everything. Now, before we moved out in May, Dave insisted on going to a restaurant out in Belden we never went to. Insisted, and that's where a young girl, blonde girl showed up and walked by at me. I thought, who are you? I said, Dave, do you know her? He said, I don't know. She sat down and rammed her body in the back of the booth. Does he think it's funny bringing her? I said, Dave, who is that? He's like, I don't know. They sat with an old couple. And they start talking about Dave by name. I said, Dave, those people seem to know you. Bam! And I got knocked forward. He's like, are you okay? I said, who are those people? I don't know. Does it again. Bam! The back of my booth knocks me forward. I said, do you want to leave? He said, no, we just ordered our food. I said, can I sit over there? He went, with you? He's like, yes. And I go over and he wraps his arm around me. Are you okay? And I said, who are those people? He's like, I don't know. He even told Danny some crazy blonde girl was throwing her body in the back of Mom's booth. She had to sit on the same side as me. That was one of the set of 3 mean parents that were waiting for me to die from my injuries. She showed up in 19 or 20 at Woodforest, as if you don't know what's going on. I thought I've seen you before. Where have I seen you? The restaurant in Haiti. Florida drug cartel was trying to kill me. In 18. So that's where Michelle was seen at Faith Family Church with the ones that said they were for Judge Peters and they were from Florida. The fake Portage County Sheriff's, the fake FBI agent that tortured me, found out her father is Melissa's divorce attorney against John. He's the one telling people he's an agent on my case. So, were you an attorney for the drug cartel? And that's how Dave met you? And that church? It is, isn't it? That or you were paying off your bet. You made a fool's bet with them, didn't you? Or you bet everything you have in life. You either pay us back everything or take everything plus interest. Or you bet everything you have in life. And for you to keep it, you have to pay it back plus interest. That's why you did it. You did a fool's bet. Thought it was a sure thing. So, were you the attorney for the drug cartel? Helping the drug dealers? For the guy in Maslin, helping him get away with crimes? What's his problem? Attorney for the drug cartel? And since Dave hired them in that charge to harm me, came up with the idea of a scam? To Ron? To pay them back, and you lied to some heads of cartels. That was a stupid mistake. For the guys running it were the ones paying for all this. And you lied to them. They found out. So what did they do? You are so very lucky. All they did was take your daughter down under where there's police surveillance with a court order and argue with her that she confessed and ratted your whole family out. And it is very admissible. It's right on Google. Right on Google. If you're arguing in a surveillance area and you confess to a crime, it is admissible. And she ratted your whole family out, that your family was in debt to those drug dealers. The guys running it found out this whole thing was Michelle's family's debt to those drug dealers. Yeah. Ran a big scam on me of drugs and told to say stuff. Photoshop of washing in the shower. Found out it wasn't even me. It was some other lady who put my head on their body. You can't go. Michelle and her father and his friends can't go around breaking in private homes, stalking people, selling kiddie porn to little kids going potty, having people drugged for fake confessions, and photoshopped and framed in their own perverted stalking tapes. I don't care who the hell they think they are. They can't do any of this. So then you got to think, Melissa's divorce attorney. Because why would you let an 18-year-old kid date a 60-year-old man trying to kill his wife? Because you want to make sure he goes along with your scam. Because you're desperate to pay those drug dealers back. Or it's going to cost you everything you have. Your practice, your home, your accounts, every bit of furniture. You're going to be like that guy with that dumpy truck where he had a beautiful truck when the case started. Was following me around. Disappeared for a while, came back with a rusted up, beat up old truck. Made a bet to him. I lost everything I had in life. They took everything. Desperate. Made a fool's bet. For they bet everything you have in life. You either pay them back everything plus interest or they take it. Made a fool's bet, didn't you? You're lucky. Where they said the guys running up showed up and told everybody no one's to ever say a word to her again in her life. They had cartels. Got the cartel against you. And you're lucky the only thing they did is hand your family over to the police on a platter to take care of them. Because you don't want them to. Dear God, those people, Lori's family member that got was taken, they had people laugh in her face how they killed her. That they tied her up and she died as they cut her in pieces. better be thankful the only thing they did for you lying to them is to take your kid under police surveillance, argue with her so she confesses to everything your family did. That you human traffic people to pay back those drug dealers. That you, her, and you, your whole family, human traffic people to pay back your drug dealers, the drug dealers that you owed a debt to. That you had my skull bashed in, me raped and tortured, and you did all those things to me because you were in debt to those drug dealers. And she's sorry. You know, a week ago I was up in Summit Mall. People were saying that's the one her ex-husband, his girlfriend's father, and his friends ran a big drug scam on. See, why would you let an 18-year-old date a 60-year-old man trying to kill his wife? Because you want him hooked. You want to make sure he goes along with all the murder plot and anything you do to his wife. Hmm? Hmm? You're very lucky they only handed your family over to the police on a platter. People have walked by, no one ever say a word to her again. This whole thing they had done to her was Michelle's family's debt to those drug dealers. No one should ever talk to Michelle ever again. She admitted to human trafficking to pay those drug dealers. She sold women and children for sex slaves and to be murdered. She sold children. Her and her family sold children. They ran this drug scam on me to pay those drug dealers back so they wouldn't kill them. Getting the idea of what's going on. Oh, and she even admitted it's her dad. Where they said, because you told her new husband's family how they have it set up to have people listed incompetent and have everything turned over to them and dump them in nursing homes out in Youngstown. They actually had it set up in Youngstown. It's all wrong because you told her husband's family how to do it to him. Oh, yeah. Michelle's dad's attorney that's offering to have people listed incompetent and steal from them. Do you know it's right on Google? In extreme cases, if an attorney tries to get someone listed incompetent and everything turned over to him, to someone else, it's 1 to 10 years or more. It's not the place. So you have to have a medical diagnosis of like Alzheimer's, dementia, and then you're still not found incompetent. It takes years of slow progression of not being able to drive, give your own meds, pay your own bills before you're found incompetent. And an attorney can never do it. The day they try, they get disbarred forever. And like 10 years in federal prison, and anything that you lost, they have to repay. Google. Then I want you to think where people run around, an attorney said this, an attorney said that. The attorney that's running a drug scam on me because he bet some drug dealers and he lost. And he's trying to steal everything from everyone so he can pay him back so they don't kill him and his family. That guy, my ex-husband's girlfriend's dad, which just happens to be Melissa's divorce attorney, where that church hired the Florida drug cartel. And Michelle was seen with the Florida drug cartel. And they said that the guys impersonating the Portage County sheriffs at Faith Family Church worked for that office. September 18th, 25. Walmart, West Task. And then on September 23rd, 2025, Summit Mall, the guy that tortured me, the fake FBI agent, works for that office too. Oh, by the way, I've seen him a couple times down in Carrollton. Follow me around like they said he still watches her. He works for that office. They all do. They're part of that cartel. Get that idea? Agent John, you get an idea? Can I have my money now? You can never touch informant money. He's trying to get your case thrown out. Oh, by the way, Stark County Sheriffs, we all know some of you were carrying around the house Carensville FBI informant. I've heard you guys even talk about the case several times at Faith Family Church. Y'all watched me. Thank you. Air hug. You do know down in Carrollton, there's supposed to have been Stark County Sheriffs down there bad-mouthing me. May want to address that it wasn't your office. They're trying to get Agent John's case against the cartel thrown out. Because with you working the FBI case, you would never do that. Not only cost you your badge, but your freedom. I'm just saying that's it's right on Google. You go to jail for stuff like that. Trying to get an FBI case thrown out. Might want to say something in Virginia's restaurant too. And to the Carroll County Sheriffs that it wasn't you. Just like the Portage County Sheriffs, it was none of their officers in my home, nor did they have knowledge. They weren't in anybody's home before. Only no one but protected light cases with statements in a court order. That would be illegal. Because Dave hired Pete on his own. Some guy. I've never met him. I've never even met Melissa's divorce attorney, Michelle's dad. I've never even met Michelle. I've only seen him. I don't even know who that guy Pete is. I don't think I've ever seen him. But I only seen those other ones in Walmart when they showed up and said stuff. And it took a while for me to find out who they actually were coming in and saying stuff. Okay? Can I have my money now, Agent John? They're trying to get you arrested for stealing my money, get your case thrown out against the cartel. Like they set up in Summit Mall, outside of it. Some ladies talked to the police. Karen never lied to them. Not once. She called FBI hotline with threats and attempts on her life. Those people walked into an FBI office, confessed they were trying to kill her and were harming her. And that agent opened a threat and attempt to life case for an FBI informant. Everything else she said happened. And it was all caught under police surveillance. See, what they're trying to do is saying you defrauded me. And where they were looking for legal loopholes in January 19th. Because you opened a case, you told me, on me for calling the FBI hotline. You didn't pay me. And you confessed on a recorded line. Everybody already knew. And you don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. And that you did all this just to steal from the government. That's what they're trying to say. All you have to do is pay me and stand up for me. Now stay in jail and arrest Michelle and her family since she read them all out.